put into stasis for the moment, but they've already caught out Funky again. That's going to be his 5th death of the game. The feathers fly. Mask has nowhere to go, but he flashes, but it's all in vain. And this is Movistar building up some momentum. They're looking for more. They don't want just to be a couple of kills. They want it to be all the kills. And they're doing it between 2 turrets.
Unicorns are just getting lost in the sauce of Movistar. Positions potentially want to interact with one another.
Going to be interesting. I think Unicorns of Love, they're going to have to play around early spikes, specifically for LeeSin and Sylas. Skirmish around that 2v2 in the mid lane and jungle. Not so much in the mid lane itself, but move that pressure around to see if they can find any picks with it. Because it's super difficult to get on the Lisandra. Good disengage against both of them. When you had level 6 on Movistar Riders, even better to actually just disengage a lot of these fights.
And again, we find ourselves back at the point for Movistar Riders. They have to keep winning. They cannot let this one kind of, fall down. They've taken one step. They have 2 more to take to really kind of bring themselves back into us. Of course, they're still going to be probably kicking themselves about that first game, but you cannot let that kind of linger in your mind. As ancient history, throw it away. But for Unicorns, you got the blue side. You got yourself the early Rakan that hasn't been allowed through this entire series, something that has to show presence now coming into this game. Really need to make sure that you're making the most out of those early picks.
If you get it initially. So that's really something to look onto if you're looking for the micro in this matchup.
Engage in mid. Will be an aggressive glacial path there to try and get some trade back here, but Mask not coming out the best of it, but knows that he has got Peach waiting off into the wings.
Yeah, and he just used that E. It's a long cooldown with 1 point in it.
Yeah, well, we're going to get the abscond abduct, trying to look for this one. A flash for Flash! And Peach is able to pick up that one. Does he take the Q underneath the tower? He does! But Mask will be traded back. It is a 2-for-1 trade, though, in favor of the Unicorns.
And that's exactly what we said Unicorns of Love they needed. It was the 2v2 between your mid laner and your jungler to find a skirmish. We said you wanted to move it around, but they don't care about that. They have the first move in the mid lane, and they get the kills.
Yeah, and all of this just comes down because Frescowy used the E aggressively, right? He has no way out. He has to wait to flash. Doesn't matter because Peach E flashes in. Really easy commit, but then Mask as well. Just flash forward with the Kingslayer. They have enough burst damage. Sure, Mask dies, but honestly, I don't think it really matters in the exchange just because they trade 2-for-1.
Yeah, and they both have teleports, so you know they're both mid laners with the relative short death timers will just be back quite quickly.
Exactly, and Peach, very happy, like Iron Spike Whip, first reset with 3 camps. That's a good base, if you ask me.
That's pretty damn good. That is a pretty damn good place to be in. But now Isma looking maybe for a gank on this bot side. It's going to be difficult. They do not get the stun down. Alvaro tanking up too much now. Supa needs to back himself away immediately. Isma never takes on the turret aggro, and now Funky, oh, he needed one more auto attack and would have been able to get it. Now he might have been too far forward. He does get the heal off. Excuse me, not even the heal. Gets himself the splash off to try and get himself away. And that's going to be a trade back of 1-for-1 this bot side, and we are seeing this game just kind of devolve into skirmishes all around the map.
1-for-1, but still in favor of Movistar Riders.
Via priority, so I wonder if they're going to try and move this around, try and catch off somebody here.
Looking for a nice route. Both of the support and jungler will kind of back themselves away, and this is good for Movistar. I like that they're being super aggressive. They recognize, as you mentioned, they've got the mid push. They could look to try and get something with the fact that they have got that ultimate available. Do they get the Ring of Frost? You cannot recall there, and that's going to be Funky punished for thinking that he was safe.
Split decision as well from Unicorns of Love. At first, it looked like Mask wanted to join him down towards the bottom side and actually look for a skirmish. Then he calls it off.
This is one of these weird things where...
You're a Ksante enjoyer.
Yeah, exactly.
You are.
So, Ksante can have lethal at very surprising ranges sometimes. Like this, actually.
I mean,
just
like right
by the way,
now,
he might be dead.
I mean, he might be.
He's
There's
dead.
the knockback, and there is the kill. There it is. Gets himself the final auto attack. I had to hold it because there was the AD shield, but I like that you immediately called there as lethal, and there was lethal.
There was lethal. That's great.
I don't know. I played this champ way too much to know when it happens. And now
also easier for them to play the game. So as Movistar, you're really waiting for that time where most of you guys get your level 6s and you start becoming more comfortable in a team fight setting.
Yeah, just Alvaro.
He found himself on Funky on the backside there, gets himself the wind become lightning after the flash, and there's going to be the feathers going flying. Funky doesn't die though. Great kick, knocks up 3 members. kills. And Movistar, it looks so good, but now you've got to be
Lisandra
exit
ultimate.
strategy. You have to leave without anybody dying. There's going to be a flash in immediately using that stolen Lisandra ultimate. Can Supa do anything? No flash, no ghost, and no way home. I say that. Gets one kill, looking for the Red Buff rocks, not quite able to get it. Ends up being traded back. The LeeSin has fallen down, and this Red Buff transfer has finally gone over to Lisandra, and Movistar get themselves a small advantage.
They get themselves a couple of kills back on the end of that one. One thing I really want to call out, and I hope you get a replay of this. Thank you.
Going into the late game, but does mean that we are kind of coming back into a much more even state. It's only really that dragon that's kind of the difference between these two teams. As Marky might be in a world of hurt himself, gets dragged away from it, but misses the Q. Really nicely done there with the Hextech ultimatum, but they might look to try and fight him once more. They did go all out to try and make this all-in work. Will they be able to get out Venour? That's the question. As we look down the bot side, it looks like Funky just cannot get a break. But the Rakan comes in with the hero's entrance, and that's going to be huge there for them. Isma finally clears that one up, but you trade it back. Now, can they get the Lisandra in? Yes, they can. There's going to be a good quickness here. Lekcyc just really doing so much here. Yes, his AD carry still dies, but he gains so much time off the back of it.
Top turret, bottom turret. I think bottom turret will go down first here, so still big exchange.
Come down a little more focus on his mark.
Oh, they're back down into live, as we can see there. Mask getting put into stasis for the moment, but they've already caught out Funky again. That's going to be his 5th death of the game. The feathers fly. Mask has nowhere to go, but he flashes, but it's all in vain. And this is Movistar building up some momentum. They're looking for more. They don't want just to be a couple of kills. They want it to be all the kills. And they're doing it between 2 turrets.
Unicorns are just getting lost in the sauce, and Movistar are so happy to just allow them to walk in. It's so absurd. Unicorns need to slow this game down for Movistar. Keep the pace as high as you can.
And that's exactly this.
Won't get the tier 2 just yet. Peach on a very good flank. They haven't seen him just yet. Now
it's
they
on the
have. They now know he is there, but there's going to be the kick delayed. The Hextech ultimatum is good. The feathers fly, and Peach can go nowhere, but they do get the shutdown onto Lisandra. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but the jungler is very powerful. Mass did steal away the Crescent Guard. They try and make something work. They're trying to get the Ksante here onto Supa, and that's the way you kind of want to try and single out this AD carry. It's another trade back, and it's just so close between these two teams. But importantly here for Unicorns, they got rid of the damage dealers.
They did get rid of the damage dealers, and they can just try and take control of the river for now. See if anyone else from Movistar tries to check in. They can't really confirm the dragon right now.
Marky and Mask.
But this is so unnecessary as well, because you're suddenly looking for picks in the mid lane. You're now exposing yourself. TP's up now as well,
Oh, Mask had to flash away, but he cannot get away from this one here. Marky will pick him up, and the Lisandra flank is everything. Movistar taking complete control of this game, and they are trying to make a push to a silver scrapes.
level in the game.
A lot of ages.
At level 13, the same for Venour as well. So
I think it's slightly more impressive for Venour, but we're going to immediately go into a fight here. The Hextech ultimatum comes out. They're going to try and burn down this AD carry if they can. They do get the Rakan, but do they lose anyone on the backside? That's stolen. Rell ultimate doing a hell of a lot. They've got Venour on the backside here. Double kill comes in, but the feathers stop anybody from pushing in all the way. The all-out, can he kill off Super? Yes, he can, but he'll give his life for it. It's a 4-for-2 trade, and Movistar can crack open the base.
Yeah, 3 members still standing, can look down the mid lane here, could go back to the Baron, but they're not feeling their chances. Death time is still very low. 7-15 now on Funky. Let's see if they can just get the mid lane and get out, but with no minions around, it's becoming a bit dicey actually. Mask.
Marky.
He's alright.
I would have liked Mask getting a bit more aggressive there, seeing if they can get one at least.
So, Unicorns, that window to maybe use the top laner is starting to fall off. Just more in the sense of, you know, how strong now the Xayah is, making their way towards the Lord Dominic's going to be able to power through that, and diving generally is just going to become more and more dangerous. Movistar adapt to the fight.
They're looking for it. There's going to be a good Metal Storm, though, to try and stop them from really getting any kills. The double TP comes in. That's going to be Marky and the Lisandra on the backside. Supa, nowhere really to go, and they're all just piling on top of him. This Varus gets the free fire with nobody finally going on top of him. They will kill him off. It's a double kill coming in here now for Isma on this Zhao. They are cleaning up everything, because when you throw absolutely everything onto the Xayah, you've nothing left for the fight.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly,
for the Unicorns of Love support, as the dragon does finally get secured, that's going to be an objective bounty, but can they get out scot-free? That is the real question. You've got everyone kind of chasing them down. These will be very staggered death timers as Funky throws down his ultimate to see if he can maybe get away, but he knows with no flash, he's got a snowball's chance in hell. It's just about who'll be able to pick that one up. Marky gets that one there as Isma wants a little bit of a 1v1 with Mask, and they're going to lose it. Mask able to steal away his Crescent Guard and give him that, as the Xayah got 1v1'd as well. What was Supa doing in the red buff area?
Still that ultimate again. Love to get a replay of that, actually. That was interesting.
I'm sure we will. Yeah. But Movistar, they can just play at this game because they know if Unicorns engage on them, they just have the better options at dealing with it. So if they get up in their face and kind of bait Unicorns in, they know they'll always be able to burst down the first target, CC them. And Unicorns have to really try and space out who goes in and when they go in.
Yeah. And I'm really getting flashbacks to the first game now.
Yep.
Down, also down towards
Here we
that
go.
bottom side. Here's the dive.
Isma going in on top of Funky, but he gets himself away. The Hextech ultimatum to try and disengage a little bit, but they couldn't get on the Super, who takes out the Ksante. And this time around, there will be no base defense. There will be nobody to stop them. Movistar taking us to 5 games.
Taking us to 5 games, and the echoes of Silver Scrapes start to play in the ears of just about everyone. Movistar, mostly clean game. I feel like they had a really good understanding of what Unicorns could and could not do. And from the perspective of Unicorns, not able to try and bring down that Fed Ksante whilst losing out on all of the skirmishes on the bottom side meant that, again, options very limited.